What, can you believe it is episode 3 already? We have the Coke Zero cracked open. Listen, I cracked that open before you got here. I'm sorry. The stress level was high. It was raining out. It's been raining all day. I'm scared to death that we're going to be in a flood. I literally was like driving home from the grocery store, and I got splashback from a giant tractor trailer truck that I don't even know they were legally allowed to be on the road that they were on. Like it was in like a neighborhood road. So a residential street. Anyways, so I was on edge already. I'm on the edge of glory, as Lady Gaga says. And I cracked that open before you got here because otherwise I wasn't going to make it. I'm sorry. So welcome to the pod. Welcome to Dear Queer Millennial with Dr. Nate. I'm Dr. Nate. I hope you have enjoyed the last 2 episodes. We're finding our rhythm. We're finding our groove. We are, we're just here. We're queer, and we want to like beer. Okay. So what? Let's get into it. Let's get into it right away. So the spiral of the week. What am I currently spiraling about? I will tell you what I am spiraling about. Because I have been waiting. Do you understand? I've been waiting for this, right? I've been waiting to talk about something that everybody knows. You know what I'm about to talk about. Okay, the time between seasons of my favorite shows. If you were trying to throw me into an existential despair, into a spiral of depression, anxiety, and disassociation, trademark, that nothing will do that faster than waiting for another season of my favorite show. Like, it has been approximately 64 years since the last season of Stranger Things. They said that it'll be out in November. I have trust issues, and I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't believe that we're going to get the new season of Stranger Things this year. Because I mean, these kids. By the way, and I know this is not original to me thinking this, but the actors that they have playing these children are fully 30-year-olds at this point. Do you know what I mean? They started the show 4 seasons ago, so approximately 74 years. Does that sound right? Ago, they started as actual children. They are now getting ready to collect. To collect retirement, like Social Security. Like, I don't like, what is the deal? And I know you say, well, Nate, the writer's strike and COVID and this and that. Okay, fine. Maybe. Sure. But I have to find things to fill my time with. Okay. And between seasons, and life is bleak, right? We are living in crazy time. Like, I just sat through a president who gave a parade. And they're mad at the gays because we have parades. Like, girl, what is that? So, like, it is bleak right now, okay? And I need those things to get me through from one kind of shot of dopamine to the next, okay? And so, like, for instance, I just finished that Overcompensating a couple days ago, and I still think about that show. I was watching a podcast with Benito Skinner, who was talking about it took them 7 years to make the first season. Like, including like the writing and all of it, like, and let me tell you something. If Amazon doesn't renew this show, I am going to riot. I'm going to the Amazon headquarters, and Jeff Bezos and I are going to have it out. We're throwing hands. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, Jeff. If you cancel this show, something that I have now committed my allegiance to, that I am currently obsessed with and will remain obsessed with, if you cancel it, it's over for you. Do you understand? Like, I would sleep with one eye open. This, by the way, these are jokes. Oh my God, please do not. These are not threats. These are jokes. Ooh, because that could get dark real quick. Let me ring that back in. All I'm saying is the time between episodes or seasons, and the razor's edge that we walk about whether or not these streaming platforms are going to cancel or renew our favorite shows is too much. Like, we need to get it together. Just get it all together, put it in a bag, and get it together. Okay? As Rick and Morty said. All right? Like, for instance, 3 seasons of Heartstoppers. Okay? Love this show. It is queer joy. It is a queer angst. It is, I know people are talking about, there are people out there who are critics of it, and they say, oh, it's not realistic, and it blah, blah, blah. Look, you can take that negativity and go on down the road with it, because we are stands of Heartstoppers right here, okay? At Dear Queer Millennial, okay, DQM, baby, we are stands of Heartstoppers. We love Joe Locke. We love Kit Connor. We love the whole vibe. And the absolute shitstorm that would have occurred if they had canceled the fourth season. It's 3 seasons, folks. And they said, well, they gave him a movie. Okay, look, I'm fine with it, honestly. Like, I've had time to process it. I've had time to think about why and how. And I read the little interview that Joe Locke did and talked about, the actors are coming into their careers, and it's a scheduling thing, and Netflix is whatever. And fine, I'll take the movie. I'll have a bad attitude about it at first because I want a full season. Okay. But the amount of time that I had to wait for them to make that decision, for them to give Alice Osman the deal, like, I was breathing into a paper bag daily because I needed this show to be renewed. I need to see how it ends. And look, you could say, nay, read the graphic novel. It's not the same. It's not the same. The music, the cute art, the great acting, the all of it. It is not the same as the comic. The comic is lovely. Love the comic. We all of the things, but it is not the same. And the amount of time I had to wait to get any kind of news for my boys to get a season 4. Okay, because they renewed it season 2 in the middle of season 1, when it was taking the world by storm, and we were all in our feelings, crying and having emotional breakdowns. That we got that. Netflix gave us season 2 and 3, actually. I think they renewed it for 2 seasons. And then Netflix, by the way, let's talk about that. This show is based on graphic novels. It's at least 4 volumes. And you're going to just give us 3 seasons and a movie? 3 seasons and a movie? Yeah, okay. All right. I see what you're doing, and I don't like it. Okay? I don't like it, and I don't appreciate it. It's not right, and it's not okay. All right, fine. Another thing, MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. And listen, I'm not here. You can take, if you don't like MCU movies, girl, you go ahead and unsubscribe right now. Okay, click off the pod and go pray to Jesus. Go find yourself on a year backpacking in Europe. Like, I don't know what you need from me, but I am an MCU fan. Scarlet Witch is my queen. Okay, Agatha all along was an obsession from day one until currently. I'm waiting. We're supposed to hear about some kind of renewal. Like, they're limited series, they're calling them, because they don't want to commit them to multi-season shows. Okay, fine. But MCU, like, the time I have, like, okay, we just found out Doomsday got delayed. Okay, fine, to December 2026. Okay, and then the sequel to Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, is a year later. They're talking almost a full calendar year, 2027. The amount of time I have to make sure I stay, like, y'all don't understand. I'm working out and eating right to live long enough to see the shows I want to see. Like, I am sitting, I will go to the grocery store and be getting vegetables and good food, because I need to keep my cholesterol low so that I can be alive long enough to see these shows. Like it is beyond. Like, do you know what the mortality rate for someone like me is? I have high anxiety. I cannot be waiting around for years and years and years, okay, for this stuff. And of course, I'm gonna do it. What am I gonna say? No, I'm not gonna go see it. I'm gonna protest and not go see it. It was a boycott. Girl, please. I'm gonna go multiple times. I'm gonna watch it on Disney Plus after I saw it in the theaters 3 times. Okay, like, this, and I think you're taking advantage of it, and I don't appreciate it. And I want to set a boundary with you, MCU. Okay, Agatha All Along, fabulous show. If you haven't watched it, it is first of all, it's the gayest MCU show there is. I think it is the gayest MCU show there is. I mean, I think there was like a little cute, little queer nod in the Eternals, but this is full gay, and I'm like I love it. And we know if you're an MCU like comic book fan, you know, girl, that shit is gay. Okay, so we finally got a gay show about witches, which we love. And Agatha Harkness is why are not people why are drag queens like sleeping on Agatha cosplay? Like where are my lip syncs to the wicked what is it what was it down the road down the witches road, like why haven't I seen a compilation of drag queens doing lip sync to that, by the way? Okay, so the show's fabulous, and it was what 9 episodes, 8 episodes. I watched everything multiple times, and now I'm waiting to find out what they're going to do with the future of that show because it was a sleeper hit. Nobody knew that it was going to be as big as it was. Okay, and which. Look, y'all, Marvel sleeps on the gays. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we got money. We are a feral fan base, and we show up. Okay, if you give us what we're asking for. Okay. So we don't know what the future of that show is. There are rumors and hints that we're gonna get. I mean, Joe Locke was like hinting at it in an interview, I think with Variety or something, talking about he signed a multi-year contract. But I'm letting you know that if I don't get a follow-up season, because we got WandaVision, we got Agatha all along, and I know that we're gonna get like a Vision Quest, which is kind of like a third. I don't know, it's like limited series. I guess you could call it a third season of that all. Fine. But Wiccan better be around in the MCU for a while. That's all I'm telling you. Count your days, MCU, if not, because it'll be your ass. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. So now that's my spiral of the week. Let's get into the letter. The fictional letter. By the way, I had a comment when I posted the first couple of videos, which I love. By the way, thank you so much for your response. I've had lots of folks reach out and just say nice things about the pod, and I am so grateful that you're listening. I hope it's fun, useful, whatever. And at the very least, you are, holding space for me while I, need it. Okay. So here goes the letter. Remember, these letters are fictional. And there was a comment from someone who was like, well, if you ever launch a premium version, maybe you can answer real questions. And maybe, I don't know. It feels like a lot of pressure. Okay. And I'm not sure that I don't respond well to pressure. So maybe. But here goes another fictional letter. Dear Dr. Nate, I need you to weigh in. Do you ever feel like healing is just another thing I'm supposed to be good at now? Like suddenly I'm supposed to be emotionally fluent, trauma-informed, inner child cozy, shadow work literate, attachment style aware, and still make it work on time and text my friends back. Still make it to work on time and text my friends back. Okay, because lately every time I have a normal reaction to something upsetting, like spiraling when someone ghosts me or crying over a sad playlist, I catch myself going, ugh, I thought I was past this. Okay, like healing is a checklist and I'm behind on the syllabus. I'm doing the work, I swear. I've got a therapist. I read the books. I journal until my wrists hurt. But I'm still messy, insecure, and way too sensitive. And now I feel guilty for feeling that way, which is counterproductive. So I guess my question is, am I healing wrong, or is this just what healing actually feels like? With love and at least 3 unresolved triggers. Felicia from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Felicia, girl. I mean, this letter. Look, Felicia, there are people like we in the therapy business that we have therapy clients that come to us that are already like they don't need all of our insights. I'll tell you, because they just need someone to hold the space while they do the healing. Like they're therapy pros. Do you know what I mean? And I like to, like my poor therapist, I just talk at him for 50 minutes. And he's wonderful. And he always has a nice little gem. He drops a little gem now and then, and I think about like when we have clients who who come in ready to do the work, and and when I think about my own healing journey, because I have been on a journey, it has been more like a quest. Okay, it's not even a healing journey; it's a healing quest. Like fully, it's a Japanese role playing game. We are fighting bosses. We are gathering materia. We are getting our limit breaks. Like we are fully, like we're upgrading our equipment. Like, girl, it has not been a healing journey; it's been a healing quest fully. So when you do the work, you become aware of what the work that the work is getting done, right? So some people can heal by accident. I really believe this. I mean, there's research that talks about this, and not to get like, whatever, but I do, I am a doctor of counseling, and there are people who have resiliency, right? There are people who bounce back, girl, and naturally, and they don't really know that they are that way. And then there are people who are like me and Felicia, who are trying to do that. We do the work, and we know but we have to learn what to do, right? And which means you're going to therapy, which means you're doing the self-care, which means you're reading the books, you're watching the YouTube videos, you're journaling, you're keeping a diary, a captain's log. I don't care, call it whatever you want, but the point of it is that you're building the self-awareness. And I will tell you, millennials, hello, are among the most self-aware generations that are out there. Okay. And this, I don't know. I'm not a boomer. I'm not a Gen Xer. So I don't know if they have a lot of self-awareness. I mean, obviously I've met people from those generations who have self-awareness, but like as a generation, as kind of like an energy of a group of people, a zeitgeist, if you will, and I will, no, that say, that we millennials, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of social media. And so we saw ourselves in each other over time. But there was something about our generation where self-awareness was so much deeper than what feels like in previous generations, where we knew that we had anxiety. We knew we built an understanding of our trauma frameworks. We understand, I mean, maybe we see it in our TV shows. I mean, like pop psychology it was the worst thing that ever happened to scrolling TikTok reels, like videos, like internet. Like, y'all, listen, we're not going to get into that because that's not what we're about at Dear Queer Millennial. But what I will tell you is that pop psychology and therapist influencers was the worst idea. Because hear me out. Wait a minute. Listen to me. Here's why. Hear me say why. Because you train for thousands of hours as a therapist. Okay. I'm a teacher. I teach and train therapists. And I'll tell you that, it's a rigorous graduate program. And we spend a lot of time talking and researching and understanding, let's say, attachment styles. Okay. And a therapist will take that little nugget of information and then put it on their TikTok. And then you're scrolling through and you go, oh, there's this video from a therapist talking about attachment styles, and it's a minute and a half long, and everything, you're missing so much of the context of therapy language that has now been kind of put out in the world. And look, I'm not the language police. If you want to use therapy language, use therapy language. I use it in this podcast. Like, I'm not dogging that because at this point it belongs to pop culture. It belongs to the masses. Like, there's no taking it back. But I'm just saying that we didn't do a lot of service to the larger populations when we started introducing that language into the communities, into the algorithms. And part of that, I think, is just because we're millennials. I think that millennials were in therapy. The therapist dropped a little jargon here and there, and we went, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Disassociating, stepping out of my body and watching myself, do the thing that I'm doing. And yeah. And so I think, okay, maybe I've changed my mind. Maybe I've just convinced myself that some therapy language is probably good. I mean, I did say this in a couple episodes ago where I was like, let's put a word to the thing that we're talking about or we are feeling so that we can then, know what we're talking about, right? Like the self-awareness. That's what I'm talking about. So, okay. All right. I'm convinced. Some therapy language. All right. But the point of it is to say that we are very self-aware. So we know what we need to work on. And I do. I know that my anxieties are so ridiculous. Honestly, I'm trying to think, what was the last anxious thought I had? I mean, I think, yeah, that I was afraid that because it's raining, I was afraid my basement was going to flood. Folks, I don't have a basement. I'm like worried about my basement flooding. Okay. And get your head out of the gutter, dirty. I don't have a basement. I worry, like I create things to make myself anxious. Do you understand? So I'm very aware of how my mind works and how I process feelings. And Felicia's talking about like doing all the work. And at some point, do we pathologize normal responses to everyday experiences? Right. And this is kind of the difficulty with therapy language. When we're talking about trauma, when we're talking about panic disorders, or we're talking about all that, kind of high level stuff, is that life just is hard. Life is bleak sometimes, and we're living in a crazy connected world. We're not built to see all the things, the horrors of the world that we see. And so sometimes it's going to feel like you're overloaded because plot twist, you are overloaded, right? So what does that mean? Sometimes you're just like being upset or being annoyed or being whatever is a process, and it is not a destination, right? So like healing from something, or let's I wish Felicia would have gave us an example, but we'll say that Felicia is an entry-level employee who is experiencing passive-aggressive comments from her colleague because Felicia warmed up some leftovers in the microwave, and maybe it splattered on the door, and her coworker is like the break room, like guardian, like superhero Marvel. Okay, look, there's a market for that. She's her coworker is like the defender of the break room, and Felicia is getting a lot of passive aggression from her coworker. That'll be our scenario, right? And she goes home every week or every night, and it is processing the passive aggressive comments, and she keeps getting frustrated with herself. Felicia said, "Here, I'm feeling, frustrated that I am worried that I'm too insecure. I'm feeling messy and I'm too sensitive," right? And if she's going home feeling frustrated about her passive aggressive coworker, and she's got to do all her coping skills to get where she needs to feel, balanced again and feel good again, does that mean that any of the stuff, that all the stuff that she's done up to this point was worth it? Like, is it not working? I'm going to therapy. Why don't I feel better? Because folks, it's a process, right? I tell myself that all the time. I just want it to work. Why can't it just work? Why does it not just work? Because we are not robots. We are not light switches that we can flip on and off. Sometimes it is a process. And that's what they mean when they say trust the process, right? They mean let the thing unfold. Right? Like I know for me, the way that my anxiety is, that what my anxiety responds positively to is going to the gym. And listen, we're going to do a whole episode on fitness and fitness culture and all that stuff and mental health. Like you just hold on to your butts because we're going to do that. But that's not today. But what I'm going to tell you is I know my anxiety responds well to if I go to the gym. Okay, I don't know why. I'm sure there's science behind it. I'm sure there is some reason why, but I can tell you that I feel less anxious if I lift weights. I don't know what it is. It just works. Okay. And so I know that about myself. So every time that I get anxiety and then go work out, does that mean, and then get anxiety again, does that mean that working out didn't work? No, because it is a process. It is the response to the thing of living, right? So working out is the response to anxiety. Anxiety is the response to living, right? So it is a process thing. Do I eventually learn how to modulate my experience of anxiety over time? Yes. But does that mean that I'm ever going to get rid of my anxiety 100%? No. And as a matter of fact, I think it's dangerous to get rid of your anxiety entirely, because you're built in a way, we are built physiologically to experience anxiety. It is a thing that keeps us alive. For some people, anxiety is the thing, it is the thing that keeps you from making some stupid decision, right? Like, let me think of a good example. Oh, I don't know. Like, I describe anxiety as like a smoke alarm in your house. Okay. And you're cooking in the kitchen and I don't know, maybe you burn whatever you're cooking because you were scrolling Instagram too much and you didn't pay attention to flip your eggs, right? You set off the smoke alarm. No one's in danger, girl, but it's going off. Beep, 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 right? It's going off. And nobody's in danger. Nobody's in danger. You're fine. So you wave the smoke away from the smoke alarm and everything's fine. Right? The smoke alarm is anxiety. But one night you forget to turn off the burner, and I have had this anxious experience, and you go to bed, and then all of a sudden, a fire breaks out, and the smoke alarm goes off. And you wakes you up out of a dead sleep, and you are able to put the fire out and be safe and all these other things. Right? So the anxiety is not the enemy here. Right. So for Felicia, your processing of whatever negative emotions that you are doing, whatever that looks like, is going to be the thing you just do. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like journaling is a thing you're going to do to process negative emotions. Okay. If it works. If it doesn't work, don't do it. But if you're going to live, it's the trauma of everyday living. I mean, it's like the death by 1,000 cuts. Like you have to learn ways to cope as you experience the stressors of life. And look, and this is me talking to me. All right. I am Felicia, by the way. I write all these letters to myself. Okay. Because these are to me, and maybe, y'all get something out of it. I don't know. But like, so for me, as Felicia talking about, am I healing wrong, or is this just what healing actually feels like? Yeah, this is what healing actually feels like, and it gets easier in the sense that you get better at coping. Like the time it takes to heal gets smaller, but the fact that you have to heal, it happens because you are mortal. We are mortal. Okay, folks. And again, as I said, some of this will be in therapy forever. I'm in therapy currently. I don't have any actual I processed most of my stuff. I got good coping skills. If you can't tell based on the ways I'm spiraling in this podcast, but I have coping skills. And one of my coping skills is seeing my therapist once a month. And, but it is also to say that there is an expectation from my therapist that I'm doing some of the work on my own. Okay. And what Felicia's talking about is the work on your own. Is you doing the healing part, facilitating your own healing. And what that looks like for each person is different. And we can get into what healing looks like in another episode. But Felicia, so dear queer millennial, dear Felicia, what I'm telling you is yes, this is what healing feels like. And sometimes it takes extra work. And it's hard. And it's not easy, and which is the same thing. Like for real. Wow, Nate, that was you're really giving the people some wisdom. It's hard, it's not easy. Yeah, it's hard, it's ugly, it's messy, it's but this is sometimes what it is. Maybe it is journaling. Maybe it is reading something inspirational or motivational to get your head in that space. Okay. And it changes. You might be a person who one day that thing that worked doesn't work anymore. Okay. And what fun. What an opportunity for self-discovery. What an opportunity for self-discovery to be like, you know what? That was working for me, but now it's not. I wonder what else might work, because that's called growth, right? That's called growth. All right. That's what I have for you, Felicia. I hope that was helpful. And I want to talk a little bit about what am I into right now? What is required reading right now? Required reading for me, I mentioned this kind of earlier, and I want to do a bigger episode on this because I think it would be really interesting. I am into minimalist workouts. Okay. And you say, Nate, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the workouts that you go to the gym, you do the thing, and you leave. Okay. And look, I have different goals than certain people at the gym. I know that there are people who are trying to build muscle, bulk up, all that stuff. And I love that for you. I really do. But I'm not that, right? I'm trying to go, I want the grandma exercises, right? Because I want to be the grandma I'm exercising now so that I can be the exercise grandma later in life. Like I am about a minimalist workout that is like as few moves as possible to get the most maximum benefit. I am just living for that. I'm reading on different kinds of workouts. I'm thinking about when I go to the gym, I'm like, what is the exercise that's going to engage the most muscle? Because listen, I don't go to work out to gain, like a six pack. Because girl, that ship has sailed. I'm sorry. It has sailed. And this seat is already squeaking. One too many peanut M&Ms at the gig, girl. This chair is like squeaking. I'm out here talking about the gym and I'm telling on myself with this squeaky ass chair. Look, what I'm saying is the minimalist workout, I am so into it right now. Like I want to know what are the fewest moves to get the the most bang for your buck. I think that is so interesting because my workout goals are about longevity. My workout goals are about I want to get off the toilet by myself when I'm in my 80s, right? Like I want to be able to. I'll tell you what it was at first. It got me into the gym was like I was walking all over God's green earth. My husband and I would travel, and like I'd be out of breath taking the stairs. And it's like, girl, that like it's a long way to the hotel, as many kilometers, because to me, I know the rest of the world uses kilometers, but how far is that? 16 miles? Like, I don't know. It's imaginary to me. That's like, I don't know. So like I'm climbing the stairs and we've got 17 more kilometers to go back to the hotel. And I'm like, I'm just going to pass away right here on this park bench because I can't. And that to me was like, no, girl, you have to start getting some exercise. And then when I found out was like, oh man, it does amazing things for my anxiety. I feel good. And you can call, maybe it's endorphins, maybe it's serotonin. I don't know. I should know, but I don't know. Well, what I will say is that it has done incredible things for my anxiety, but I also don't like it. Does that make sense? That is like... I don't like it. I don't like going to the gym. I don't like working out. I don't like thinking about like how many reps do I need to do? How many this, that, or the other thing? Like, I don't like it. But I like how it makes me feel. So it's one of those things, 38, hello. Okay, midlife, right around the corner. You hear that? That's 50 knocking on the door, talking about you need to do the exercise, even though you don't like it, so that because you like the way it makes you feel afterwards. You can be productive. You can get stuff done. Okay, because and what's crazy is I know, like I have this little policy with myself where it's like natural consequences. Like Nate, you know that if you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, you are going to walk out of there with the worst stomach ache you've ever had. Now, you get to make an informed decision. You don't go to the gym, you're going to be anxious the very next day and not get any work done, right? And so you can choose not to go to the gym. Like this is literally how I talk to myself. Like when I'm thinking about when I have to go, and it's like you cannot go. You're going to be miserable because you didn't go. And you know that misery is a result of not going, but you can choose not to go. But at that point, because you know now that exercise makes you feel better, you have made the decision then to not go, ergo, you're going to feel miserable, right? And I hate that. I hate it. I hate that I'm right. I don't like it. I don't like that working out makes me feel better, but I got to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's so weird. But anyways, that's the required reading for this week. It's like, think about the thing that you hate doing, but makes you feel better, right? And that is the story of my life. Like that would be the name of my memoir. Like I hate it, but I'll do it because it makes me feel better. I hate it, but it makes me feel better. I don't know. We'll call it something. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to this episode. I hope you liked it. And if you didn't, well, I don't know what. Get off my case about it, honestly. Otherwise, thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.